Welcome to Autism Street, where we provide you with more than 6 hours of research in less than 10 minutes. Today we will discuss the best career for autistic people. So let's get started. Is there really a best career for autistic individuals? The answer can get complicated. As we discussed in an earlier video, there are different levels of autism. High-functioning autistic individuals on level 1 are capable of much different careers than nonverbal individuals on level 3. On top of all this are many misconceptions held by many people in the general public. So maybe a good place to start is the opinions of an autistic woman who has been dealing with the difficulties of finding a job in her chosen profession. Ashley McKay is an autistic individual who lives in Australia. On January 2nd, 2019, Ashley wrote an article titled, 7 Reasons Why You Should Hire Autistic People. What I liked was her list of 3 things that, as an autistic person, she wasn't going to tell you. She is not going to tell you it's the right thing to do. She is also not going to tell you that you'll be able to get us to do the jobs that your non-autistic employees don't want to do. And she is definitely not going to tell you it's because we have a skill set that predisposes us to a particular role, type, or industry, like science, engineering, technology-based roles, etc. She says the first one is ableist. She doesn't want a handout. She expects to be hired based on merit because she believes she has plenty of it. The second one is offensive. You wouldn't dare say that to any other marginalized group. The third is frustrating. She says it's not true for all cases, and this kind of thinking is limiting and exclusionary because it fails to consider and enable the extensive diversity of the autistic community. Ashley goes on to list 7 reasons why she thinks companies should be hiring autistic people. She says, we think and solve problems differently. Autistic people are neurodiverse, which means our brains are different. My different brain enables me to bring a unique perspective to my work and solve problems in ways that other people may not. Ashley says she doesn't follow unwritten social rules because she doesn't understand them. These traits are actually pretty useful for problem-solving tasks because she tends to consider a broader range of possibilities and is less likely to make assumptions. She says, we can do any job. There are a lot of myths and stereotypes about the types of roles that are and aren't suitable for autistic people, like thinking they are best suited for science and technology-based roles. In her profession, her role requires a lot of social interaction. She works to understand what makes people tick. It is user research. Don't make assumptions about the type or level of role that an autistic person is capable of performing in. They come from all walks of life and all backgrounds. It's called a spectrum for a reason. There's a significant amount of diversity across the autistic community. Shouting from the rooftops about how diverse and inclusive you are means nothing if you don't have a diverse workforce. How can you inclusively and effectively deliver value if your own people don't reflect the diversity in the world you're trying to reach? If you are delivering any product, service, or experience that a human being comes in contact with at any point in time, an autistic or a neurodiverse person will interact with it. The prevalence of neurodiversity is anywhere from 3 to 11%. As an autistic person, we may not instinctively say good morning or acknowledge you in the hallway, or our unusual eye contact may make you feel like we're not engaging with you in a way you would like. But by nature and where it counts, autistic people tend to be openly inclusive of differences in the workplace. While many of us have experienced more than a lifetime's worth of discrimination and abuse for being different, we don't dish it out ourselves. An autistic person has a strong sense of social justice and a strong drive for equality for all. You will never find yourself having to explain or sell the benefits of diversity in the workforce to autistic people. You'll never need to explain why we should care in the first place. Autistic people don't engage in office politics. They are open, honest, and transparent at all times. They don't hide information. They don't build corporate fiefdoms. They don't plot the demise of their fellow workers, and they don't lie because that requires a complex thought process that just doesn't happen. With an autistic person, they are who they are. What you see is what you get, and everything they say or do is real. You can't view an autistic person through a lens where office politics are the norm. If you're into yes people and people who don't ask questions, you probably are going to want to avoid hiring autistic people. But if you want people who will constructively challenge both you and your thinking and in turn propel you and your organization to new heights, you should broaden your candidate pool to include autistic people. People who constantly agree with popular opinion and do things a certain way because that's the way it's always been done will never change the world. Real change requires free thinking fearlessness. The world needs people who are brave. If an autistic person sees something, they say something. That's a good thing. They speak up because they care. They want a good outcome for the team and the company. An autistic person's reasonable adjustment needs in the workplace are mostly cultural and social based. This may be a quiet place to work, it may be headsets to cancel out noise, or it may be a 4-day work week. The world tells an autistic person every day that it's not okay to be okay with being autistic. But if you constantly think about it, you just might be able to see how valuable autistic people are in the workplace. So the answer for the best career for an autistic person is the same as it is for everyone else. Autistic people are best suited to any number of occupations or careers, anything from engineers to chefs to social workers. If you feel you have received value for this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.